Hello, philosopher. Now, finding yourself. This week I discussed Nietzsche's on what it means to find yourself. I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts and what will be your take at the end of this discourse. Maybe you can go ahead and share your thoughts. I get to learn maybe from you. But before we dive in a quick word from this week's sponsor. Sponsorship are personally vetted by me and are crucial to keeping this newsletter free for everyone. So please do check out the offering. If it looks interesting, share it, like, listen, you get to learn something. Now, on this week's philosophy break, for the 19th century German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche's our true selves are not hidden within us. They are something ever above us, something we must actively work towards. Here is his sage advice for how we can authentically become ourselves. Now, the great Roman Stoic philosopher Epictetus once wrote, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." That is all well and good, you might think, but how do I know what my philosophy is? That's a good question. How can I tell which values I affirm? How can I be sure that what I want is what I actually want, not just what I think other people want for me? In other words, if I'm feeling a bit restless about who I really I am, how do I find or discover myself or my values? Nietzsche offers sage answer to this question in the Fire as educator essay of his untimely meditation written in around 1874. Now, in this untimely meditation, it says that this is the most effective way to let the youthful soul look back on life with a question: what have I up to now truly loved? What has drawn your soul upward, mastered it, and blessed it too? Set up these things so that you have honored before yourself, and maybe they will show you in their being and their order a law which is fundamental law of your own self. Compare these objects. Consider how one completes and broadens and transcends and explains another, how they form a ladder on which you have all the time been climbing to yourself. From your true being lies on deeply hidden within you, but an infinite height above you, or at least above that which you commonly take to be yourself. Now, Nietzsche reminds us that authenticity is not hidden within us fully formed. Rather, our true being is something that lies above us, beyond where we currently are. We thus don't find ourselves, we harness our raw materials to create ourselves. One way to frame this is to view our lives as an artist project. We begin as a unique half-formed canvas, receiving color washes from the cultural norms we inherit. The task of life is then to style this canvas into something beautiful, perhaps going beyond the cultural palette we are familiar with. Every brush stroke contributes towards the finished piece. Every choice we make shapes who we are. Nietzsche asks, what have we up to now truly loved? What has drawn your soul upward, mastered it, and blessed too? It too. We should focus on this and shape our lives around them. Let our love and passions create a work of art to which we will proudly assign our names. Now, authentically creating ourselves. In his 1882 work, The Gay Science, Nietzsche further discussed how we might go about creating or styling our characters according to our own taste. I quote Nietzsche: "To give style to one's character, a great and rare art. It is practiced by those who survey all the strengths and weakness that their nature has to offer, and then fit them into an artist's plan until each appears as an art and reason, and even weakness delights the eye. Here, a great mass of second nature has been added, their piece of first nature removed, both times through long practices and daily work at it. Here, the ugly that could not be removed in concealed, there it is reinterpreted into sublimity. Much of this vague and resisted shape has been saved and employed for distant views. It is supposed to beckon towards the remote and immense. With work, we can shape ourselves into something beautiful, where we use even what we regard to be ugly, undesirable, unchangeable parts of ourselves to lend intrigue, mystic depth according to a particular artist plan. As Nietzsche finishes the passage, he goes ahead and says that in the end, when the work is complete, it becomes clear how it was the force of singles taste that ruled and shaped everything great and small. For Nietzsche, he suggests that it is by living up to an independent, authentic aesthetic rather than an external ethical standard or value system that humans can truly fulfill their potential. As he famously declares in his 1972 work, The Birth of the Tragedy, he says, and I quote him, "It is only as an aesthetic phenomenon that existence and the world are eternally justified." After all, he writes ultimately in his untimely meditation, I quote Nietzsche, "At the bottom, every human being knows well enough that he is a unique being, only once on this earth, and by no extraordinary chances will such a marvelous, picturesque pieces of diversity in unity ever put together a second time. As Plautinius as it may sound, there is no one else capable of being what you might become. You thus owe it to yourself." Nietzsche thinks, to become the best, fullest, most empowered version of yourself you possibly can. He writes, Nietzsche continues and says that nobody can build you the bridge over which you must cross the river of life. Nobody but you alone. True, there are countless paths and bridges and demigods that would like to carry you across the river, but only at the price of yourself. You would pledge yourself and lose it. In this world, there is one unique path which no one but you may walk. Where does it lead? Do not ask. Take it. Profound, profound, profound. Now, you see, many disagree with Nietzsche's championing of the aesthetic over the ethic, but it is certainly one way to think about authenticity. Clarify what you love and where your truly power lies, and focus all your energy on shaping it into something beautiful, reaching upward and beyond where you currently reside. You see, if you're interested in learning more about Nietzsche, you might enjoy some of my related articles, resources on this philosophy, where one of the essay I had written about Nietzsche is Life, Insanity and Legacy. Another one is God is Dead. Nietzsche's most famous statement explained amor fati. In Mexico it means that we must all die. There's a lot. In the meantime, what do you make of Nietzsche's advice? Do you think Nietzsche's offer a good way to think about how we might create ourselves and do our values? Is viewing life as an artist project in which we perpetually style and restyle ourselves helpful? Is it prioritizing the well-being of others more important than this kind of restless self-making? Is there a way of reconciling the two? I love to hear from you and read up and appreciate every message. If you have enjoyed this philosophical break, you can share it, you can listen, you can send me your message and reply. And readers' response to last week article and discourse, I always ask before I features someone here. Last week we had looked at Albert Camus on rebelling against life's absurdity, and it generated some fantastic discussions, some of which shared your reconciliation with the absurd. Now, William from States said that getting up in the morning and pursuing my banal activities is meaning enough for me. As for purpose, I don't flatter myself that I have one, but it seems that most people, philosophers included, admit that I search for one. Some even boast that they have found theirs. Good for them, they have demonstrated the absurdity of man's concept, but they haven't discovered any features of the universe that exist apart from man's idea. My impoverished worldview takes in the absurdity of modern life and searches for a punch line, one that will make us all burst out laughing. Time to go work for money, to pay interest on my debts so I can balance the books. The boss thinks I'm in a tight spot and wonders out loud, why am I so cheerful? Should I tell him? Others agreed in Camus' assessment with that. Sisyphus might be happy but question his analysis in other respect. Now, Apollo from Philippines says that I think Camus is right. I think Sisyphus is either happy or content. Striving as a defiance or metaphysical rebellion is a good concept to counteract metaphysical suicide, but I think he's a little too critical for things he called the illusions. His position seems post-justification, post-belief, post-truth, thus also post-philosophical, or could be read as such. Now, Mary from Netherlands says that this morning I opened my greenhouse door as I do every morning, and every morning I see the spider whose web I broke by opening the door yesterday has rebuilt it in the same place. I guess it has a reason, as it doesn't move it somewhere else, but I shall never know what that reason is. Perhaps the spider is happy. For many, a life of repeated ritual without beginning of middle or an end is quite soothing. Perhaps the joy is in how we view it. Irony is a seriously trying task to me, but if I imagine going out in a well-ironed clothes, it can transform my attitude to the task. They will still need washing and ironing again, but do I see this as a defiant stance in the face of absurdity? I don't know.